Maybe you heard about the hypochondriac who had carved on his tombstone. See? I told you so. This evening it gives me pleasure to present our speaker to you. I might mention that we were intending to have Alan Spraggett, who is the author of this book here, The Psychic Mafia. Our speaker tonight is the man he wrote about in this book. So we're going to get the information firsthand tonight, instead of from Alan Spraggett. LAMAR Keene, who is the subject of the book, was a spiritualist medium for 13 years. He was founder of the New Age Assembly Church in Tampa, founder and minister of the Temple of the Living God in St. Petersburg, Florida. He was a staff medium and member of the executive board of Camp Chesterfield. And as I said, he's the subject of this book. I'm going to let him come up and tell you what the book is all about, or what he wants to tell you about the book, and maybe he's going to give some demonstrations. I think you're going to be surprised tonight at what he has to tell you. So, Mr. Keene, will you come up and take over?
Thank you very much. I hope you'll bear with me. I'm always losing my voice tonight, and I would hate to do that. Perhaps you might be fortunate if I did. I hear a couple of chuckles back there. So maybe you would be lucky if I did lose my voice. I thought that I would sort of reverse things tonight, and instead of beginning with the few statements that I have to make, I thought that I might perhaps present a few extrasensory perceptive demonstrations. Of course, we all know that this depends upon vibration, and we need a good vibration in order to have a good manifestation. And so I'm going to begin by, I think, asking someone, a volunteer, to take the telephone directory and select at random any number in the telephone directory that you choose. Could I have a volunteer? Select any phone number in that directory that you choose. While the lady is doing that, the lady right there in the gold sweater, I'm going to write a color here. I would like for you to name a color. Could you give me a color? Any color at all. Orange. Now you don't want to change your mind. Okay. I would like for you to, if that is the color that I've written, this will be my abstraction. What color is that? Orange. Very good. That is orange, isn't it? Can you read my sketch? Very orange. To the lady in the pink dress right there with the scarf around your neck, would you give me a number from 1 to 10? 4. The number of 4? What number is that? 4. Well, I used to say when I was a medium, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. All right? the lady with the telephone directory, did you find the telephone number? Would you concentrate on that number? You have concentrated. Do you have a fountain pen? Would you circle the number? It is circled. Would you look? Well, all right, just so it's marked. Think about the number. I've earned my reputation tonight by not always being right. Would you look now at the telephone directory and would you read that number? Now please read the same number that you marked. 272-1237. I don't remember what. Is that it? That is the number. 272-1237. I haven't read my reputation yet. If you haven't read the book, I haven't read my reputation yet. I would like for who has a pencil and a paper? I have a little secret inside this. And I would like for someone three people to give me a number from 1 to 10. Why don't you call on three people to give us a number from 1 to 10? Anyone that you choose. Okay, now let's have a number. What number do you choose? No, you don't have to write it. Just call a number out loud. The number is 7. All right, did you write that down over here? Whoever has a pencil. Now, who else did you call on? You. The number 3. Okay, write that one down. And who else was called one? 9. Did I remember correctly? 7, 3, and 9. Now, I guess we don't have to be mathematicians to come up with an answer on that. That is 19. I'm going to open this envelope, and I'm going to ask if someone would read this. Again, if you can read that.
At tonight's meeting, several members will be chosen. The total will be 19.
Well, I'm batting pretty good tonight. Now, before I came on the platform, I asked our chairman to write a billet and to then take this billet, seal it in an envelope, and he has done that. I have not seen this billet. Is that true? And I was not within seeing range of you when you wrote this billet. But I would like to attempt to reveal the contents of that sealed envelope that you hold there. I feel that you addressed this billet to someone by the name of Marion. And I think that Marion would be your mother. And I'm not sure, but the last, it's like Abercrombie or something of that kind. And then there's another Marion who is also invited on that billet, but I believe this would be your sister, if I'm correct. Do you know someone by the name of Ruth? And that person was also invited on the billet. And there would be a name, I'm not sure, there's my boy, Adamson. But this would be like a friend to you. You also, I don't know whether you wrote this on your billet or not, but as I concentrate here, there's something about a career or something about a working condition or something in that field that you asked a question about. Would you understand that? Then there's something else that you're wondering about, and I feel that probably you asked this on the billet too. Would it be something about selling a piece of property? Would you open the billet and read it, what you wrote?
Marion Abercrombie, mother. Marion Cantor, sister. Ruth Adamson, friend. Will I have a change of career soon? Should I be prepared to sell my property in the next year or so?
Well, I just about got it. Now, as I understand it, you asked the audience here to write some billets. Is that correct? And I'm going to attempt to do what we call blindfold billet reading. Before you bring those up, and while I'm preparing my blindfold, is there someone here by the name of Joy? You are Joy. There's some change that has recently taken place around you. Do you know what I'm talking about? It has to do with a friend, because I see more than one individual involved in this. What does the name of Fisher mean to you? Oh, that is your last name. Then they're talking to Joy Fisher, and they're talking about some change that has recently taken place in or around you and your life, concerning you, something that has been rather bothering you or puzzling you to some degree. And I want to say that there's going to be a lot of light shed on this in just a short period of time. I feel that you have been contemplating doing something different or changing your routine in some way. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because you did write a billet, Did you put a villain in over there? Because I just heard someone say that, but you didn't say anything about what I'm talking about. But they want you to know that this change, this different routine that I'm talking about, is going to come within 3 months' time. It's going to be something that you've thought about for a long time, but you've just been putting off doing it. You know what I'm talking about? But you're going to do it. You're going to be glad that you did it. So quit fearing it. Quit fighting it. It's something that you know you have to do. So go ahead with it, and you're going to be happy in the long run that you did. You know, as I touch you here, I see your aura very, very clearly. I see a great deal of pink in your aura, which has nothing to do with the fact that you have on a very beautiful wild pink and a beautiful pantsuit. But there's someone here that is talking about, well, this has to do with love and romance and beautiful things. And I want to say at heart, you're really a romantic. And you recognize and you know that. So this doesn't come as news to you. And I don't want to embarrass you. But I do want to say to you, go ahead with this thing that I've talked to you about. You're going to be glad that you did. You know, there's been a little concern with you about a health condition. You know what I'm talking about? This is something, too, that has been sort of bothering you for a little while. But things are going to be better in that regard. And I feel that a great deal of it has to do with a nervous condition, which already you've heard from your doctor. Is that true? It's exactly true. And you didn't say anything about that on your bill either. Now, there's someone here, and I don't know whether this individual, now wait just a minute, who is Wanda? Wanda, there's a lot of music around you, because I just hear music all around. And I feel that you would have some talent as far as music is concerned. I see you in church a great deal, and I feel that certainly you are a very spiritual person by nature. And I see you playing an organ. Have you ever played in church, or have you thought about playing in church? Oh, you are a church organist. Well, who is Bill? Bill is your husband. All right, because I just heard someone call that name, but there's someone here in the spirit world that also speaks the name of Bill or William to me. And I feel that this would be someone on your husband's side of the family. But then there's a lady here who speaks the name of Elizabeth to me that comes directly to you. And she is talking about Pamela. Who is Pamela? She is your daughter. Because I feel that there has been some concern about Pam, about your daughter, about something that she's thinking about doing. She hasn't quite made up her mind, and you're just a little bit concerned about her and whether or not she's going to do the right thing. Is that true? All right. That is true, because I see it here, and as I said before, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. But she wants you to know that Pam is going to make the right decision, and I saw a beautiful light that just jumped right over there between the two ladies beside you. That's all I'm getting, so now I'll take the bill. How many people have ever been to a spiritualist before? Don't you dare get up and leave while I have my blindfold on. Because if you do, I will tell all of your secrets. I mean the ones you don't want me to. Okay, as I begin to tune in here to various vibrations from the spirit entities, I'm feeling some of these bells I'm going to pass by. Perhaps I will come back to them. But right now, I hear someone beginning to speak to me, and as I hear this person speak, I want to say, this is Mother and Dad. And I heard someone speak the name of Tracy. Can someone place this?
Yes.
All right. Do you know someone by the name of Tracy in the spirit world?
Yes, I do.
And who would be Carl? Carl. A very dear friend. All right. Very fine. I'm very glad to be able to touch this vibration, to bring these entities here to you, and to let you know that they are well and that they're very, very interested in you. Now, as I touch your vibration and as I hear your voice, I feel that perhaps you would be concerned about something to do with a health condition. Would you understand this? I want to say that I feel affected in my arm. Would there be something wrong, or would there be a concern with you in your arm? All right, because I want to say that as I'm speaking here, they're very concerned about this, and that this is something that, too, is not just a recent occurrence, but something that has been perhaps bothering you for quite a long while. It's going to improve, and I want to say to you there's another health condition that you did not ask about on your billet that is also bothering you. Is that true? It is true, and I see it right here before me. I want to say that there's something that has been bothering you for quite a while, and it has to do with this area of the back, perhaps the lower spine. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You do, indeed you do. And I want to say that both of these conditions are going to be improving. You're going to be very happy with a surprise that is going to come to you in the month of December. Now, this is not an unusual Christmas present or something of that kind, but it's something that you are indeed thinking about, something that you want to do, but it's going to slip up on you. It isn't going to be your decision, but it is going to be a surprise to you, and God bless you. I heard someone speaking to me here, and this person is talking about something about 12033 or 12022 or something of that kind, and I feel like I want to go to a street like Cedar Crest or Cedar Creek or something like that. Would that be an address?
Yes.
That is an address. That would be like Drive, I want to say. Because I feel that there is something in your mind, whether you ask about it on the billet or not, I do not know, but there's something on your mind that you've been wanting to do, and I want to say that you've been working on this for quite some time. It's going to come about. Do not be concerned about it, but know that it will work out for your benefit, and God bless you. I hear someone calling to me now, and I'm calling to someone by the name of Sharp. Is there anyone here by that name? Sharp. Because as I hear the name of Sharp, I want to say Babe or something of that nature. Is your name Babe? All right, God bless you, because I heard someone speaking here to you, and they're talking about something about a dream or something of that kind. Would you understand that? And I want to say, just dismiss this from your mind, because it is something that you have received from like a subconscious level. It is not of significant importance, so release it and let it go. You know what I'm talking about? Indeed you do. So release it, quit thinking about it, because sometimes you invite him to bring these things into reality by creating them in the mind realm, and God bless you. There's someone here, and I don't know who this is, but I'm getting an initial. It looks like R, and then I see an H here before me. Is there anyone here by the initial RH? Well, would there be a trip around you? Are you thinking about taking a trip?
Yes.
All right. Does Washington mean anything to you? Because I see Washington being written out here before me, and I see you on an airplane. I see you having a very pleasant trip. I feel that this would be the thing for you to do. So I say go ahead and know that the spirit people are there helping you in every way that they can. I want to speak now to someone, and I feel that I would speak to someone like Lucille. Is there a Lucille here this evening? Lucille, as I speak to you and as I hear your voice vibration, I feel that there would be something manifesting here around you that would have to do with making a move of some kind. Would you understand that? Because I feel that a move has been desired for some time as far as you're concerned, and I feel that this would involve someone other than yourself, And I feel that perhaps there would be some holding back in regard to making this move. But I want to say to you, go ahead with it. It will be a good move, and you will be happy after it is done. There's been a lot of reluctance, even on your part, because you say, well, I've made some mistakes before, and I don't want to make another one. Is that true? It is exactly true, but it is not going to be a mistake. You're going to have an opportunity a little later on in the year that is going to be of great benefit to you, and God bless you. I hear someone calling me here from the spirit world, and as I speak for this entity, I want to say that I'm talking about, well, I don't know exactly what this is, but I see like a doorway opening for someone, and this has to do with a business opportunity and with owning or doing something with several types of businesses. And I want to speak to someone like Mary. And I feel like I would speak to Mary Gaines. That is your name. Do you have anything to do with business transactions or operating a business or anything of that kind?
Yes, I do.
You do. All right, because I feel a vibration here dealing around a business. I want to say that indeed they're very happy to help you with this. I see several changes that are going to be coming about in the very near future, and they want you to know that indeed they are happy about it. They're going to help you with this and know that everything is going along just fine, and God bless you. Someone is calling here now, and I want to say that as I speak, I'm calling to someone here that is very concerned, again, about a health condition. And I want to say that as I talk about a health condition, and as I make an attunement here, there's something also concerned about a daughter. Someone is concerned about a daughter, and about a change, and about an adjustment.
We don't need
That's
enough of that.
Yeah. I just thought maybe...
I mean, that's a regular spiritual meeting.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's all right. Why should it?
But I just wanted to give these few demonstrations this evening, as I used to give, and used to give much more profoundly than I did this evening. But I will explain why I was not quite as profound tonight as I used to be. I have had a wealth of experience as a professional psychic. As our chairman introduced me this evening, he told you of some of the things that I accomplished or did while I was a spiritualist minister and a psychic. Among those things, to remind you that I know of what I speak. I was the founder and the minister of the New Age Assembly Church, a very large, a very prosperous church in Florida. Also the founder of the New Age Assembly Ranch, which is a spiritualist camp in Florida. Founder and minister of the Temple of the Living God, which is still a large and prosperous church in St. Petersburg, Florida today. I was the publisher and the editor of Onward, a metaphysical magazine. I was the minister of the Universal Spiritualist Church in Bradenton, Florida, an executive board member of the Universal Spiritualist Association, one of the largest church chartering and minister ordaining organizations in the country, an executive board member of Camp Chesterfield, not very far from here, a resident medium and psychic there for many years, and I have served churches throughout the United States. These things covered a period of years amounting to 13 years, or perhaps a little more. I hope that these are just a few of the things that I did, but I hope that by reminding you that I did these things, that during that 13-year period, I did accumulate some amount of expertise as far as being a psychic is concerned. The psychic mafia, how many of you have heard of it? Good, then I have time to get out of the room before I'm mobbed. The psychic mafia was not my idea, nor am I here to sell the book, although I'm glad to see the book sold. Just recently, I returned from a promotional tour which I had to agree to for the publishing company to publish the book. The book was conceived by the Reverend William B. Rauscher, and those of you with spiritual frontiers very well know who he is. He's an Episcopal priest. He is the canon of Christ Church in Woodbury, New Jersey. He heard about me. He had heard that after 13 years, and after accumulating multi-million dollars in church and spiritualistic assets, that I walked out, took absolutely nothing with me, and he wanted to get to the bottom of it and to know why. Well, through some searching, he was able to find me, which wasn't really easy because I was in seclusion and had been in seclusion for about 2 years. He wanted to know that if he came to Florida, would I grant him an interview? And I said yes. I didn't really know what he wanted. But then I found out that he was a psychic researcher, and so automatically he was interested in perhaps the whys and wherefores of what I had done and what I was going to do. And I told him my story. And he said to me that he had a very good friend by the name of Alan Spraggett, a very well-known television and radio personality in Canada, the author of numerous books, among which are the Bishop Pike story, Arthur Ford, the man who talks to the dead, Catherine Kuhlman, the woman who believes in miracles, the unexplained, and many more, plus a syndicated newspaper columnist and an editor for the Toronto Star. Would I be interested in telling my story to Mr. Spraggett? And I said, I don't see any point in it. And he said, well, I feel that your story is important enough that it should be told. And I said, well, I will talk to him, but I'm not convinced that the story is worth anything. Nevertheless, Alan Spraggett flew to St. Petersburg from Canada, convinced me that the story should take on book form. And so I recorded much of what I had been involved in for a 13-year period. And when I got through, we had a suitcase full of cartridges from tape recorders. Alan Spraggett took these back to Toronto, Canada, and had them transcribed, and came out with a stack of papers that fit. He then proceeded to boil them down and to come up with this book, which is the story of my 13 years as a psychic. Now, if you don't know what the psychic mafia is about, and if you don't know anything about me, just that I'm here and that I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing, you probably think, well, my, that is a great honor to have a book written about you. Really, very few people have a book written about them. And you probably think, gee, this is quite an honor. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight that I'm not honored at all. I'm not proud of that book, because that book makes it perfectly clear that for 13 years, and it's fully documented, was a complete and total fraudulent psychic. Nothing that I ever did was genuine. Not one thing. What I have done here tonight, absolutely total fraud. If you had believed that I was demonstrating extrasensory perception, or that I was picking up spirit vibrations from these billets, then I have also deceived you. I am a fake. I am a fraud. And that, my friend, is a very difficult thing for me, a haughty, pompous, puffed up, conceited psychic that would get up before my congregation and congregations all over the United States and say to them, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. Isn't that smart? Advising people when to get married, when to get divorced, where to invest their money, how much to give to the church, and you can check it out. Multi-million dollars. Do you know how much money the psychic industry takes in per year? And I'm going to give you a bottom figure. And believe me, when I was in the business, I got my share of it. $100 million per annum. I'm not talking about the tabloids that promote the psychic, and the book companies that promote the psychic, and all of these spin-offs from the occult explosion. No, I'm talking about the money that fraudulent psychics take from good, honest, hard-working people just like you. Why? Why did it take me 13 years to come clean? I imagine that question is in your mind. Naturally, it would be. It has been in my mind for a long time, too. First couple of years, first of all, I was about 18, and I was invited to go to a spiritualist church. And to go to a seance. I thought, my God, this is fascinating. Spirits talking and messages coming and all of these things and the money coming in and a beautiful polished church. Not like a lot of churches that you see in someone's basement or someone's garage. I mean real churches that you wouldn't tell from any other church that you've ever been into, except for the spirit communication. Well, this is a fascinating profession. And I'm a fairly intelligent young man with my future before me. Last but not least, it's very lucrative. So why not in LAMAR KEENE? Why not set yourself up as a psychic? There's no schooling required. You don't even have to have a high school diploma. I'm sad to say, or perhaps should be glad to say, or whatever, that most spiritualist mediums don't have a high school diploma. And so I set myself up as a psychic. And for a $300 attorney fee, incorporated in the state of Florida, got a church charter, got a state tax exempt number, filed with the Internal Revenue Service in Washington, and got a federal tax exempt number, and we were rolling merrily along. I was good at what I did. I astounded people because when I went on the platform, it wasn't like here tonight, walking in that door not even really knowing what I was going to do. I was ready for you when you came through the door. I put on a show. And also a village, just like this one. It says at the top, to please address your bill to one or more loved ones, using first and last name. Ask one or more questions and sign your full name at the bottom. And that's what this man did. He is now a county commissioner in Tampa, Florida. He says, Master Uriah, Dr. Swann, Brother Swann, Sister Juanita, Granddad, Minnie, Father, Uncle Harry, Uncle Albert, Dr. Frank Tipple, thanks for everything. Love, Fred. Fred Arthur Anderson. Some tottering old man that didn't know what he was doing. No. A young man in his 30s. Very wealthy. A beautiful young wife. And a beautiful little girl. He gave us 40 acres near Disney World in Florida. He gave us many, many checks for 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000. Many, many times, not just once or twice. And do you know why he gave the 40 acres near Disney World in Florida? Because in my seance room, his grandmother came through to me and spoke through a trumpet and told him to do it. That's why he did it. These seances were conducted either in complete and total darkness or in very subdued red light. My, can't we cover up a multitude of sins in the darkness? You better believe we can. Look at this card. Fred Lewis Cutchenrider, driver's license number D513162. He lives in Tampa. I'm going to ask you if that's not his driver's license number. Well, it wouldn't be by now, he doesn't know. His birthday, October 17, 1893. Really old. His Allstate Insurance card company number 41-036-470-0215. Bell credit card, American credit card. My God, how did I get that from that man? Well, I'll tell you, as I said, you can hide a multitude of sins in the darkness. And while the class was going on, it's very simple. The lights are out. I have someone working with me. Either he or I talking through the trumpet or materializing or doing whatever we're doing. And the other one's picking the guy's pockets and slipping into a little back room that we had, turning on the lights, copying all this information down, then putting the man's wallet down. And when he comes to a meeting like this, I can stand up and say, do you have a credit card with you? Yes. Well, select any one of them. Have you selected one? Yes. All right, to prove that I am in your vibration, I want to give you this number. And I proceed to give him this number. Of course, I already know he's going to be in church. So I have in my program a few little tidbits that I took right down here. And when I get to this man's billet, all I have to do is look down here and I have something that can just not just him get, but everybody else that's there. Very easy too. When the women come for private sitting or for a seance, again it's dark. Their purse is usually right there. Right there where hers is. Right there where yours is. Right there where yours is. And when someone is entertaining you with the seance, I might be able to play the organ, which I can do very well in the dark. Or talking to you through a trumpet. Or I might even have you holding a trumpet just like this. You might even put your hands on both ends. If you know what a spirit trumpet is, it's an aluminum megaphone. You can cover both ends, and the trumpet will still talk to you. I wonder how I did that. I've had mediums offer me lots of nights telling. But while I'm entertaining you, my partner has that person who's gone in this room over here, and he's getting all the stuff on you. Some of it we didn't always put back in the pocketbook, like this poor lady, Anna Frith. She still goes to the church in Tampa. She retired from Chicago from the telephone company and moved with all of her money that she inherited and got from the telephone company retirement, and is now pouring it into the church, and they're growing bigger and better than ever. But I've got her driver's license number, and you know what? There's a picture of it in that book over there. Right there. Because I would use this. Probably to slip it into a Bible or something before the service. And during the service, I would have them sing the most rousing hymn of a full accompaniment of the Victory in Jesus, one of my favorite ones. And I would have her come forth and hold that Bible. And I would place my hand on it, and she would feel the vibration. And she would be convinced that some tremendous miracle was about to happen. And when she would open that Bible, she would find her driver's license. If she'd missed it, she would thought she had lost it. And the spirit people had brought it back to her. Here are a lot more things. Here's the state automobile insurance company thing from Louise Caldwell, Tampa, Florida. From Vincennes, Indiana, an American Red Cross card from Mrs. Dowell. J.C. Penney credit card from Mrs. Curry. Tarpon Springs, Florida. Maud Scarrow, Canadian social insurance card. I have suitcases, literally suitcases, full of these things. On people from all over the country. Now, I'm not standing here before you, and I'm not saying that every practice in the world is a fraud. But I'm going to say that everyone that I ever worked with was. I acquired them. I was on the board of directors. I was on the executive board at Camp Chesterfield. I decided who came and who went. You know what Camp Chesterfield is? And this book. I say that it is spiritualism's answer to Disney World. I have a challenge to any of the mediums. I think I made it today on one of the TV shows. That I will sit down side by side with any of them and take a polygraph examination. What I am telling you is true. And I'm not telling you this because I'm proud of that book or because I'm proud of what I did. I'm telling you that after the second year as a Savior, my conscience, a little prick here, a little prick there, get up in the morning and look in the mirror and not liking what I saw. I can take you, I can introduce you to individuals that are sick, that are old, and that are destitute. And I help you with this. I'm not very religious. I believe in God, and I go to church when I feel like it. This was not a religious conversion. It's not a goody-goody thing with me. It's just the fact that I had a great loss of self-esteem. I didn't like the image that looked back at me when I looked into the mirror. I didn't like what I had to erase or try to cover up in my conscience when I would go to bed and try to sleep at night and was thinking about someone that was not doing so well because of something that I would advise him to do that went awry. And today I'm living with a very guilty conscience about a number of people. I can take you to several right now that gave their life saving to the great cause that I represent. I can take you to people who have contributed $50,000, $75,000, $100,000. At Chesterfield, Howard Maxson built the cafeteria. I'm sure it's about a $300,000 structure. Dr. Hess built the museum. That must be at least $100,000. And when I was still on the executive board there, we were still collecting from a huge estate that, if my memory serves me correctly, amounted to about $500,000. I suppose even what I'm doing right now is very selfish. Trying to soothe my conscience. I'm trying to make right the wrong that I have done. I don't change a dozen spiritualists. That's probably a big number. I probably won't change any. only thing that I hope that this book might do is to warn someone that has not yet become addicted. And believe me, it's very easy to become addicted to following the advice of someone else, especially someone that you think has the inside of the angels of God. I'm not trying to frighten you. I'm not, if there's a spiritual medium here, if there's a professional psychic, God bless you. I have no animosity towards you whatsoever. But I was once one too. And I'm not out to do you in. I'm not out to change what you believe. I'm just here, as I said, for selfish reasons, trying to plow my own passion by maybe helping someone that might avoid being taken. Everybody wants to be right. And I want to be right too. I realize there are many people who conceivably are offended by what I have to say. I don't mean to be offensive. And if you've been offended, I apologize. If you're going to a psychic, I'm not telling you that that psychic is a fraud. If you are a psychic, I'm not saying that you are one. If you hold seances every day, God bless you. My guilt started after about the second year. First two, fun and games, outwitting people, making a lot of money, putting most of it back into building churches, publishing magazines, buying acreage to build a spiritual camp in Florida. Little by little, the guilt grew. And in about my 13th year, I decided, something else selfish. I'll become a mason, because this will put me in touch with a lot of important gems that might aid my motive. I became a 32nd degree mason. I became a York Rite mason. I became a Shriner. And I have a beautiful gold plaque that was given to me by Egypt Temple Shrine of Tampa, Florida, for conducting the most outstanding memorial service at the new multi-million-dollar auditorium in Tampa, Florida that had ever been presented for the Masonic Order. I dazzled them to death. I had their old pianos moved out. I had Steinways moved in. I brought my embossed, engraved program. I brought my beautiful ladies in their flowing chiffon gowns. I brought my paid musicians, my beautiful harp, encrusted in gold. I brought my professional soloist. What a shame. was ever wrong that I would have to stand up here and admit to you to go on national television, as I have been asked many times, and admit to the world through that book what a devil I was in. I wouldn't have wanted to have done any of this. The only thing that I can do here for you, I know that probably you're interested in EFT, the occult, or some related field, or you might not be here. But just God bless you and be careful. It is fascinating. It's fascinating stuff too. But if you meet up with someone like I was, God bless you. And there are lots of them around. I work with them. Right here in this little track I have handwriting of at least 6 or 8 different mediums. Handwriting. William D. Johnson. Oh, God. I have 4 big ones full of these. So do about 1,500 other studies throughout the United States. And just as many, if not more, because I only took part of them when I left the church. I felt that I had to do something. I had to save my sanity. The Masonic teachings were instrumental in changing my mind, because I knew that the contrast of what I was doing and the contrast of what I had to study in Masonry just did not meet at any juncture whatsoever. And so I knew that I had to do something. I either had to go on and keep on doing what I was doing, continue to be unhappy, continue to have a loss of self-esteem, and probably go insane, or to quit, walk out, take nothing tainted with me, and start over, which is what I've done. I work 9 to 5, probably like many of you do. I don't make very much money. I make less than $200 a week. And I used to make that much in an hour. But at least I can go to sleep at night and not worry and fret about what I have done that day. And this to me is worth more than the money. So now I better get out of here before you count upon me. But if you have a question, I'll try to answer. I don't have all the answers, and the book, when you read the book, you're going to think, my, what an ego trip this guy is on. I'm not. I didn't write the book. Alan Spraggett wrote the book, and maybe he sees me even now as being egotistical. I'm not. I don't know all the answers. I can only relate to you what I do know. But what I do know, I do know. And I hope that somewhere along the line it can do someone some good. How did you do what you did to do? Well, I'm not going to tell you how I did all that some of these things are done by mentalists. I found that since I have denounced my former ways, very few people have been very nice to me. But the mentalists and the magicians are delighted, and they've been very kind. But one of the favorite tricks that is done by most spiritualists is the blindfold village trick. Magicians will stand up and they'll say, well, you know, I can do this and I can do that, and they can do everything that a medium does. But they will never tell you how it's done, because if they should tell you, they will be kicked out of the magician's fraternity. Well, I don't want to offend them. So some of the things that they do, I won't reveal. But the blindfold billet thing, you know, all in the world you need is the tiniest little hole right here. Just don't get the tape, you know, way down here, and you can read anything that you have here, you know. No problem. Go home and try it. Get the thickest blindfold you can find. And just plaster your eyes with tape. Just don't get it too tight right here. Because you just look right down here and see everything right here. Try it. Don't take my word for it. Go back here. Well, I won't tell you how I did that, because that is a mentalist trick. A lot of people think, oh my God, you know, Preston or Dunninger. Well, Crystal Dunninger, Mrs. Dunninger, is a very good friend of mine, and you probably remember the amazing Dunninger has on TV show. That was one of his tricks. You think of Dunninger, you think of Preston, you think, oh my ESP. No, they are magicians of the mind. A mentalist is a magician of the mind. Everything they do is a trick. Now, if they deny that, then I'll come back and I'll tell you how they do what they do. But other than that, I'll let them rest. But a magician does not have extrasensory perception. They are magicians of the mind, and don't forget it. That's it.
So why with your attitude and what you've done now, why you're not going to expose
Well, I feel that I have.
Well, what I'm talking about primarily is the challenge.
Oh, I have a challenge. I've said it numerous times. On television. I said it today on one of your programs that plays in Indiana and around here. I said it on the Tom Snyder show. It's been printed in many major newspapers all over the world, not just the United States, but all over the world, that I challenge any spiritualist medium to come with me and sit beside me, and we will both answer questions with the polygraph apparatus attached. And I will also challenge them, and I have it been printed, and I can send you, Spiritual Frontiers people, some clippings from major newspapers that say, I challenge you psychics, I challenge you mediums to meet with me in your seance room or on your platform publicly to give a demonstration, and I will do everything that you do. But when I get through, I'm going to tell them how we both did what we did. No. No takers yet. Yes, sir.
In the 15 years, you ever heard of him getting on the physical phenomenon?
No, sir. I sure would like to. I sure would like to. I did an hour-long special. They were generous to me in New York. I had 1 whole hour on a program called AM New York. And we had a gentleman who was with a bumper squad. Let me know if we have to quit. Now, we had a panel there. We had man from the Bunker Squad of the New York Police Department. Reverend William B. Rauscher wrote the foreword to the book, Episcopal Priest. We've had Melbourne Christopher, the famous magician. They were our lieutenants here. And I just asked them, went into a cabinet, the lights were turned down, materialized a live, floating spirit entity on television. Took a glass, threw the water out, took my handkerchief, wrapped the glass, smashed it. Took a chunk of glass, popped it in my mouth and chewed it and swallowed it. Took a key from the Bunko detective, passed it around to the lieutenant to inspect. How was the key? Just like the yellow one. And would you believe that key bent? Wasn't my key, that was policeman. Amazing. Please don't have it. And you all know that New York is just loaded with psychics. I challenged them, and I'm waiting to get some letters of acceptance of my challenges. But no takers yet. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am. Well, in the same category that I was in, no. Because a lot of my work was in the seance room, which I don't believe his is. He deals mainly in clairvoyance. Yes, I'm afraid it could. In my opinion of Peter Burkos is not very good. I can send you some newspaper clippings that will explain why it's not very good. A woman, an unemployed waitress in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I live, Peter Burkos, Catherine Grayson appearing at the famous Gulf Ocean Mile, where the oil sheep go, the very, very wealthy. She's singing and him doing his business. Catherine Grayson's diamonds were stolen from her room. Peter Burkos hasn't found them yet. They called him in on the Fort Lauderdale unsolved murder case, the Boccaccio murders. It's still unsolved. An unemployed waitress, a missing young teenage daughter. Okay, a picture of the contract, Peter Burkos. $2,500 in advance for consultation. Well, fine. Peter Burkos got the $2,500, but the newspaper said that the daughter was never found. He never gave any information, from my understanding of it. He left town, didn't give the money back. Before he left, he and Catherine Grayson were both, I understand, involved in a fight with the unemployed waitress's mother, trying to redeem some articles of clothing that he was going to use to get the vibrations from. Well, I'm sorry, I do not accept that. Oh, just one more. Little Lisa Barrett, a young girl, 12 or 13 years old, just murdered in Fort Lauderdale. Only 2 or 3 weeks ago. She couldn't be found for about 5 days. Well, her mother's boyfriend, the little girls I've seen in his company, they found bloodstains in his van. They found some articles of her clothing in the woods that were bloodstained. Peter Burkos, I understand, volunteers his service help them locate the body of the child, because evidently she had been murdered. I mean, her blood-stained clothes and the van. The mother's boyfriend denying that he even knew the little girl. Everything says the child is dead. So Peter Herka has a map of an area of Fort Lauderdale, and he says, in a rock pit in this area. Well, of course, everybody's running to that area in search of no little girl. She eventually, the body was found. But not within miles of where he said she would be, and certainly not in the rock pit. Now, if that's a demonstration of dynamic clairvoyance, then I don't think it. I don't think it is. I said just a minute to someone who's going to be next year.
I guess are there then in your opinion? Back a little further than that?
Yeah, fine.
Established one. Mabel Wilson,
That's fine, huh?
Go back.
whose family really started Camp Chesterfield. Mabel Wilson ruled with an iron hand for 50 years or longer. I was the last medium that she ever invited to serve Camp Chesterfield.
He's talking about Mabel Ripple.
I've worked with the best or the worst, depending on how you want to look at it. I will not make a blanket indictment against everything that's the cause of. I have not met any. I have worked with hundreds of them. And some of the old established ones, Mabel Ripple, whose family really started Camp Chesterfield. Mabel Ripple ruled with an iron hand for 50 years or longer. I was the last medium that she ever invited to serve Camp Chesterfield. I've worked with the best or the worst, depending on how you want to look at it. I will not make a blanket indictment against everything that's the cause is terrible and evil, and don't you dare go near it. I'm nobody's hero. I'm nobody's savior. I'm not going to try to tell anybody what to do, believe me. The fact that I have done so badly myself proves to me that I do not have that ability. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just say that the mediums that I work with, I never knew of any of them that had any genuine psychic ability. Yes, sir.
What about education?
Well, I really do not know very much about education. As I said, I'm not going to give a blanket indictment against everybody. I'm not persuaded. Really, when I got back off of the tour that I was obligated to do because of the book, I had made up my mind. That was it. The book was there for anybody that wanted to read it. I had fulfilled my obligation with a promotional tour, and I was tired, and I didn't ever want to talk about it anymore. That's all I had to say. She was so nice and so sweet, and I am such a softy, until I said, yes, ma'am, I will come. I hope you're not sorry, because I don't want to offend any of your people. But the only thing I can do is to tell them my experience, and I hope, honestly, that I haven't offended anyone. This lady back here, then I'll get to you and then to you. I can't hear you. Me? Well, I can only speak for myself. It was all rough, you know, from when I was at it, the ones I dealt with. And one medium, very pompous, in the book. I think it even has her name in there. Materialization medium. And what we call open mediums all get together, you'd be surprised at what we talk about, what we do. Yeah. Well, I don't like all this talk about all this fraud. I believe in what I'm doing. And I said, oh, do you? Well, the next time you go in your seance room for materialization seance, I want you to be sure to give me that gauze and that chiffon garment that you have. Your parents tend to slip into you under the curtain before you go in, and then I want to come in and I want to see why it is you believe in what you're doing. Well, of course, she was furious with me and stomped off. But we openly discussed our business. We passed these cards on the telephone. You know, their miles doesn't make any difference. Just pick it up. Do you have any information on so-and-so from your city? Yes, just a minute. Go look it up. There's the alphabetical file. Pulls it out, gives it to me over the telephone, and man, we're in business. I swear, I hope God strikes me dead. Every word that I'm telling you is not true. And I do believe in God. Yes, ma'am. Psychic healers? Well, we did a lot of healing in the church, and we had some results. A lot of it is showmanship. A lot of healing can really come about if it is psychosomatic. But again, we have a lot of healers that are very honest and very sincere people. And again, I'm not going to give a blanket indictment against that. But if I was still in the business, I wouldn't want you to come to me. Yes.
Or the issue in the prison and certification and things like parole and laws and then the court for years.
I've duped a lot of scientists. As a matter of fact, I had two physicians with thriving practices moved to Florida from northern cities because they were so impressed with my abilities that they moved to Florida. I've had judges. I had one president of a foreign country. I have had lots and lots of intelligent, scientific individuals, and even one psychic investigator that provided test conditions for me to demonstrate my abilities in the seance room, and it's in the book. And I find it quite often very easy to do. Yes.
How do you count the mediumship of children?
The mediumship of children? I don't. It's done the same way.
They say children are causing abuse in the public?
I've had it happen right in my own church. They don't mean any harm by it. I mean, they're perfectly innocent. But, Yuri Geller comes along and everybody's bending keys and nails and spoons kind God, always, kids, the mother's silverware is always bending, all of this, I really don't, I just don't know of any genuine mediumship that, maybe it has eluded me, and maybe there is some child that can produce some phenomena, I don't know. But I've never seen any produced that wasn't not just like that.
We're going to switch
Oh, golly, I used to do that too. I just have samples. The spirit photography is the easiest thing in the world to do. You can take it, take a spirit photograph or a photograph to a photographer, they can do the same thing. There's some right there. That's real, those are from a medium. Yeah. This is very easy to do. I used to do a lot of precipitation. This is one from a photographer, and this is one from, I know who did that one. I used to help him. It's flawed. Well, there's several ways that you can do trick photography. The way that I used to do it was to cut out pictures from magazines or photographs or something, and put cotton, like ectoplasm, spread out all that swirl around these things, and do a double exposure. That's the way most of them are done, but there are different techniques. I used to do a lot of precipitations on silk, if you know what that is. And the way that I did that was go through magazines, you cut out spaces that you want to put on the silk. And then you take a bowl of household ammonia, and you take these pictures and soak them in the ammonia for about, depending on the kind of paper they're on. If they're on real slick glossy paper, it takes a little longer to soak them, but soak them about 30 seconds. Then you take them out and you place them face down on the bridal satin. It really is silk, it's bridal satin that you use. And then you take a handkerchief and place it over the back. And then you take a hot iron and you iron that. Then you peel off the pictures, and it leaves the face on the bridal satin. Now, the way that, and my seance is the way that
Just getting a good part there.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed. Just 1 minute. Did I skip someone while ago? I think there was someone back there that I said just a minute, and I'll answer yours. Okay. All of these, such as
This lady said, we told her what it was about me, and the lady next to her was this lady out here, and then Truth down.
I did a little research.
Too many people know. Well, he said he did a little research.
That's a number, 300. I was in on that, but then one of us would have been off this morning.
That's the limit. Different English and maybe different SWAT numbers in this collection. But that's the Midland stricken. Really, they've been the people and the magical people have been very kind. And I'm grateful for anybody that's kind to me, because there are not too many of them.
In other words, these people
Please don't take my advice on this message. If I told you to sell your stocks or bonds, for God's sake, don't do that. Find out from someone, there's a stock broker or something.
Let's go to the second.
I'd rather go to a psychic.
Put a stock broker.
Well, he's more honest. Oh, I see. Well, I was going to say, I'm over here at Howard Johnson's, $50. Whatever, I'll give you a reading. No, I'm sorry. I'll just stick with my little salary and, sleep at night. That's what who needs that? Lady right there.
Or are they
Some of the names of some of the psychics have been changed. I wanted all of the names to remain as they were.
Are they authentic names?
I think they all are. Well, I decided this. I'm going to tell the truth. And I'm going to admit whatever I've done. And if I have to go before a court of law and admit it there, then that's where I'll go. And whatever they do to me, so be it. If they sue me, they can't get anything because I don't have anything. If they think I'm going to make $1 million off that book, they're sadly mistaken. I don't own but about that much of it. Yes. They certainly are. No, Alan Swaggart insisted that we change some of the names. And everywhere I go, I say, well, that one is such and such a person, that one is, only 3 or 4 names were changed in the entire book. The rest of them are the real names. One name that we used was Raoul, who was my partner, and who still has the church in Florida and the camp in Florida, and all the assets of the church. Well, his name is not really Raoul. His real name is Raymond P. Noble, Noegel. Now, he has not been answering the telephone to newspaper reporters. But I tell the reporter, call his father, Terry Noble, who's also on the telephone book, and he can get you in touch with his son. And that's the way some of the newspaper reporters get to Mr. Raymond P. Noble. And quite a few reporters have called him.
Here from
Is Raymond P. Noble a fraud? Absolutely, positively, without a doubt, and I wish he would sue me. Because I have goods on him that would put him away forever.
Sure, I was dying to go to his church when I was in prison.
He's good, he's terrific, or bad, depending on how you look at it. But, it's a good experience. Go and see what they're doing. One newspaper reporter went to the church, and the big sign out front, it's big as this mural here on the wall, used to say New Age Assembly Church. But all of the pertinent information has been completely whitewashed and painted out. There's not a thing on that sign. The newspaper reporter went to the gardener for the church and asked him about what church it was and a few little questions, came to find out that they're legally in the process of changing the name of the church to the Life fellowship. Now what are they going to do? Change it again?
It's a beautiful church.
It is. My own mother lost about $75,000 in that church, and it's still there. And if they can live with it, I can scrape them off, and my mother and I can live without it.
How could you let her do it?
I thought it would go on forever. Just didn't. And yes, I live with that gift. And you know I will to the day I die. I will to the day I die. And you know what? That's not the worst of it. The whole business. Oh, I've been shot at. We've had bricks through our windows. We've had threatening phone calls in the dead of the night. My mother and I still live together. We have moved at least 12 times in the past 4 or 5 years. No one knows exactly where we are. But that's not the worst of it. The whole sordid, crooked business contributed to my mother having a stroke. Several of them. You think that's not hard to live with? It is.
What's the way you're sitting in recent articles and books by Dr. Keene Fall on life after death, and whether or not you actually believe in life after death?
I do believe in life after death. I really do.
But I've seen no evidence for your case.
I haven't found anyone that can do it. I would like to meet someone that can do it. I really would. I don't think it's possible. And I'm not ruling out all these ESP and, these, I'm not making a blanket indictment, but, I think this research is, is on the right track, and I think it's very interesting, and I don't rule out that that is possible. Wait just 1 minute, and I'll get right to you. There was a lady over there. She left, and I didn't even see her.
Where's our reincarnation?
Reincarnation. Yes, I think there's a possibility there, and there has been some evidence that points in that direction. And when I was a medium, I quoted that to him. Oh, I gave like readings. Oh, were they expensive?
You know what the story is beautiful.
I knew Arthur Ford, not extremely well, but I did know Arthur Ford. And Arthur Ford did at one time, many years ago, work at Camp Chesterfield. He did some amazing things, as I did, and he did some things that he was caught doing. I just don't know. If I had any genuine ability to be a psychic, there's not anything in the world that could make me do anything that was a fraud, because if I was caught one time being a fraud, that would, as far as I'm concerned, discredit everything else that I said. And why would someone who has some great gift desecrate it by doing something dishonest? I just don't know.
Get back to this money that your mother invested in your enterprise, $70,000, what do you think? Did she not know that you were a fraud?
Oh, no, my mother did not know I was a fraud, and she lived in the same house with me.
That sounds incredible. You didn't brag about were really, you must have been a very innocent person at home then, to have deceived your mother so completely.
Oh, I deceived lots of people, but my mother is so lovely. My mother is so sweet. My mother has been a devout Christian since the day she was born. She would rather go to church than to eat any church.
How could you feel for women when you feel so believing in your sister?
Because I was full of hell.
Did you tell her? Did you say?
When I walked out of the church, a few days before I walked out of the church, I said, "This is my adopted mother, whom I love dearly." And I said, "Sit down. I have something to tell you. And when I get through telling you, if you don't ever want to see me again, I certainly won't blame you. I will walk out this door with nothing but the shirt, trousers, and shoes that I have on, and you will never see me again as long as either one of us shall live." And I proceeded to tell her. She wanted to reject what I was telling her. She didn't want to believe what I was telling her. And I said, "I'm going to prove it to you." I went to spend $400 for an automatic tape recorder that clicks on and off when a noise comes from there. Took it to the church. Put it inside a huge tone cabinet that was a part of the organ in the front of the church. Put the microphone right up close to the material, the grating of the speaker. Turned it on. Left it all day. Because this one particular day, Mr. Noble was giving private readings all day long. I had it out with him before that because I said, "I can't go on. I want to change the church into a Christian, metaphysical church. No fraud." And he said, "No. I will fight you every step of the way because that will not pay. Phenomena is where the money is." Fine. What does he start doing? Priming the board members of the church. Because he knows that I can't go on and that something is going to happen, and he better get the spirit people preparing these people. So here's the tape recorder. He's so psychic, he didn't know the tape recorder was sitting right there by his chair. And I still have huge reel that taped every sitting he gave that day. Everything he said about me against me, preparing for this change that he knew was coming along. That night, about 11 o'clock, I said, "Well, Mother, let's take a ride over to the church, pick up our tape recorder. I want to bring it back and play it for you." Drove the car up to the back church door, took 4 suitcases full of these, the materialization garments, and a lot of other paraphernalia, the chaos room and stuff, and the tape recorder, and took it home and played the tape for my mother. I will never forget, as long as I live, how my mother looked. She heard. Because she knew all of her things I had told her were true. It's been a very tough emotional experience for I'm really not over it yet. And maybe I never will be. But I'm going to do the best I can. I think I told you when I quit. I went to Malcolm Beard, the sheriff of Hillsborough County, the Internal Revenue Service, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the State Attorney's Office, and laid all the cards on the table to all of them. So I thought, whatever I've got coming, damn it, I wanted out of my life. I've got to start over again. So I went to them and laid the cards on the table. Submitted an amended income tax return for a number of years, which, thank God, wasn't too staggering. Otherwise, I would still be paying on it. But the money that we were taking in, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, was going back into churches, tremendously expensive paintings and furnishing, property, building a gigantic plant, a factory for these psychic things, seance rooms, chapels, church buildings, because it was a good investment. Oh my, we could, make that money back easy. And then eventually when we had things just the way we wanted them, our own kingdom, then all of that money would go wherever we wanted it to. Swear to God. Well, there's a medium at Chesterfield today who lives in Louisville, Kentucky. She has been a spiritualist and been visiting Camp Chesterfield since she was this big. Raised by Nellie Curry, the famous clairvoyant medium that worked at Chesterfield for about 50 years. Nellie Curry and I were very, very close friends. And I said to Nellie one day, Nellie, Doris Rose will make a fantastic medium. I am going to open her. Now, you don't know what open means, but to a medium, an open medium is one who belongs to the psychic mafia, one who shares this information with their fellow psychics. She will make a fantastic medium. I am going to make an open medium of her. My God, this woman had been like a granddaughter to Nellie Curry, and had been sitting in Nellie Curry's development classes for 30 years. And Nellie agreed that she would make a fantastic medium, but she disagreed. She didn't want me to make a medium of her. She wanted to make a medium of her. And that's exactly what she did. But that's the closest I've ever come to teaching anyone to be a medium. We don't want other mediums. We hold development classes because people want to become psychic. They want to develop this ability. And there's a tremendous market for it. And my class in Tampa had at least 100 people in it. Plus the other development classes that I had going around in neighboring cities. But we don't really try to teach them how to do these magnificent miracles. Just 1 minute, this lady back here. I guess because I guess I'm just a very scheming, conniving con man. I don't know. I watched other medium seances, and immediately I would go home. The first precipitation on silk that I got, I went straight home and got out the iron and cut out some pictures and tried soap and different things, and you can make those things off of soap stuff too. I made precipitations on silk the very night that I got my first one from a medium. And from the first time that I got a billet message, I went straight home and started practicing with blindfold. Everything that I would see in class, I would go home and try to do it on my own. And it didn't take long until I was quite good at it.
The meaning of this sort of what was phenomenal is referencing family service. Obviously, there's weapons we gain, new meanings to be gained as far as the phenomenon occurs. How do you explain the strange things that happen in family circles when no one is trying to do anything except
Well, I've never attended a family circle where any strange things did happen. And it would be impossible for me to evaluate the situation without having witnessed it. I just don't know. Okay, I'm told that we have to quit, so I'll answer your question then.
Did you make any innovations or invent anything of your own?
Oh, yes, one thing that I did that the medium could never figure out, and it was the simplest thing in the world to do, and I've had mediums offer me thousands and thousands of dollars to teach them how to do it. They thought of every way conceivable that I could be doing this. They thought of electronic gadgetry, which now there is a huge supply of electronic gadgetry that can be used to produce these things. I mean, everything from holograms, you know what those are, floating through here, to listening devices, which I did use some listening devices in the church too. But there's all kinds of electronic gadgetry. What was your question after that? Oh, yes. This was the trumpet thing where the trumpet painted with luminous paint, always had lots of them working around the seance room. And you can take that thing and you can cover both ends of it and still it talks to you. You can put your hands around it, it still talks to you. One man came to one of my seances and he collapsed the trumpet and stuck it up under his chair. And you could see it up under there because it's painted luminous. And it still kept talking. And he said to his wife, "My God, it's still talking." And with that, the trumpet underneath the chair said, "Why, of course, you damn fool, I'm a spirit." It's so simple. Can I tell you how I did it? From the book. These trumpets are luminous. You can see them in the dark or in the red light. You can work in the red light, quite bright red light. All you have to do is slip on a black cape, and you can move anywhere out there you want to, and they can't see you. But whether it's in the red light, whether it's in the dark, there's the trumpet, it's talking, you've got both ends covered, or it's under your chair, or you're sitting on it, or whatever you want to do, and it's still talking. Very simple. All you need is a trumpet that does not have the luminous paint on it. You knock out the little end of the trumpet, put your hand around, this is the way I always did it, and then talk through this trumpet that is not luminous. They can't see it, but you can stand here and be talking from this trumpet, and it can be a foot or 18 inches away from that one. And you talk through this one, and the voice vibration will bounce off that one. It'll just be quivering with the voice vibration. It's very light aluminum. Go home and try it. I swear, I'm not deceiving you tonight. I'm telling you the truth, and I love you, I respect you, I hope I haven't offended anyone. If you can use anything I've told you, use it to your advantage, within reason. But, just be careful. You're you're good, honest, God-fearing people, and I just say, I love you and I respect you, and again, I hope I haven't offended you, and God bless you, and let's just hear what the priest has to say.
You, speaking of 2 years ago at Chicago, Mr. Hector.
Yes, sir, I will. God bless you.
Well, that was quite something.